The municipal and regional elections are going to happen in Espoo and Helsinki in West Uusimaa. So here we have Helena with us from SDP party. Helena, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Helena Marttila. I'm a member of parliament from Espoo near Matinkylä area and also the chairperson of the Social Democratic Women in Finland. Yeah.
Can you please tell us why the people of Finland should come and vote?
Well, these two elections are about the most important services in our everyday lives. It's about daycare, schools, libraries, swimming halls, everything you can see and be built in your nearby area. And the welfare elections are about the social and healthcare services, which are, of course, really important to people. It's about hospitals, about healthcare, and about social services and so on.
Yeah, so they should come out to let their voices be heard through their voting?
Yes, exactly.
I'm called Georgiana Fosang. I'm a district court juror and a registered nursing student. I'm on the party Keskusta, I'm in the center party, and I'm going in for the municipal elections, talking about housing. Vantaa is fast increasing and fast growing, and I think it's important that we make sure that we have houses that relate to all the sizes. Immigrants, we know we have many children, we have 5, we have 4, we have 6, so it should be easy for each and everyone in Vantaa to be able to have such houses, not only small houses. We don't want families of 6, 7, and 4 having small houses, so houses for everybody. Now, going down to employment. Yes, most immigrants, I'm sticking on immigrants because the issue is with us. 20% of Vantaa community is immigrants. Now, immigrants, before moving into Finland, most of them are educated, they have a certain level. Now, we should ensure that whatever they studied back home, I was a lawyer, I should be able to be employed as a lawyer and not anyone pushing me into doing cleaning or stuff like that. So those are the areas we need to correct. Now, talking about cultural diversity, when you merge when a municipality is diverse culturally, it gives best results. Now, our schools, they should ensure that in our schools, our immigrant kids get enough Finnish language. Mathematics, their parents don't know, they are not used to, or maybe the language is difficult. Schools should make provisions for that. Okay? Now, the next thing is that what are we going to do? Hobbies. Hobbies should be, the prices of hobbies should be actually brought really down because immigrants, we really don't have much. Ice hockey, swimming are very important hobbies, but they're expensive. Not all of us are capable of doing that. So they should ensure that this diversity should be felt in all the areas. Those are just a few areas that I'll touch, and I think Vantaa, having me, will have all these things solved.
Thank you.
Why should people come out and vote for SDP?
Well, to me, SDP stands for equality and social justice, and we believe that the welfare state in Finland is the best way to make sure that we have a happy and stable society, and that's our biggest job that we want to do, and also to build cities and municipalities and people's lives, that every child can become whatever they want to be and make it a society that is happy for everybody.
Hey, so my name is Owen Hopeakato. I'm representing the Greens in Espoo Municipal election. We need to be building more housing. We have a growing population in Espoo, a growingly international population in Espoo, and we need to ensure that we're building the housing. But at the same time, we are needing to ensure sustainability, that we are not sacrificing Espoo's beautiful nature for that housing. The housing has to be multiple types, and the housing has to be tall rather than just spread out. A city that is healthy is not a city that is segregated. So we need to ensure all types of housing are coming and those houses are mixed together. That also saves in future when an immigrant resident can ask their neighbour for help instead of using city services. Talking about employment, well, I work for a trade union, so it's a topic close to my heart. Now that the employment services are at local level, we need to ensure that we are using the reform in a way that is giving fast and efficient employment services for someone who is facing a 3-month or 6-month deportation if they're unemployed. We also need to make sure that public jobs are available with a lower language barrier, so that English is a pathway to learning Finnish. Finally, on the integration, on the cultural side, of course, as I just said, English is a pathway to learning Finnish. Everyone wants to integrate, everyone wants to learn Finnish, but English has to be present enough that someone can find their place in Finland before being expected to learn the language to a native level. We need to celebrate diversity, celebrate that we have a city that is now 1/6 non-residents or non-citizens. Celebrate the fact that we're only going to get more international in the future, and have parties and events and these physical activities that bring people together. People aren't going to mix if they aren't seeing each other, if they aren't meeting each other. So let's build an Espoo that is truly for everyone.
There are actually many topics in these municipal and regional elections for SDP, but specifically for immigrants, for the welfare of immigrants, can you just highlight some important points which actually touch upon the lives of immigrants living in Finland in some way or the other?
Well, you know that especially in Espoo, we have a lot of immigrants nowadays. And I think all the services that we have, schools and daycares, they are as much for immigrants as they are for everybody else. And when it comes to, for instance, schools that are in English or daycare and so on, and also the service language in Espoo is nowadays both Finnish, Swedish, and English. And then now it's a new thing that we have unemployment services as well that we need to take care of. And that's actually also for immigrants, of course. We want to have good services for everybody, no matter what their language or what their background is. And that's also the voice of like solidarity or equality and so on. And that's an important issue for us. And of course, we also believe that people want to have jobs and they need jobs, and that's also why we are interested in developing the unemployment services in Espoo.
My name is Bhavna Sharma. I'm a proud resident of Helsinki city. And when it comes to the municipal housing in Helsinki, I think, or what I have experienced is the housing in here is quite segregated. It's not easy to find affordable housing in Helsinki because the prices are pretty high. Because I represent the Greens, so we Greens have this policy that we want to save nature. So we do not want to have a lot of construction in the place where already there is construction. So we try to conserve nature or forest wherever there is something. And another major aspect is that we want to have more green areas for kids, to create more greener space for kids, especially who are in the age of 10 to 14 years, because there used to be those kind of parks and play areas where those kids could play, but now we just have the parks for little kids, and then we have the North Italo. So the kids in between the 10 to 14 years of age actually don't fit anywhere, and they end up using more smartphones and tend to rely more on the electronics. So that's not a good thing for their health. So I think it's a part of the municipal housing that we should design the spaces in such a way that there is enough green area and enough open area to breathe and for rehabilitation for all the age groups. There is definitely more need to have more cultural inclusion in the city.
Fair point, valid points. Can you also tell me a bit about the candidates, the number of candidates, and who all are contesting in these elections from SDP?
Well, in Espoo, we have actually 112 candidates, so I'm sure everyone will find a good candidate for yourselves. And in the welfare elections, we have, I think it was 57 candidates from Espoo, but of course, you can vote for the candidates in the whole 10 municipalities that belong to this Western Uusimaa.
And Nagiji, you're also contesting. You're a candidate
Indeed,
this time.
yeah, so as you can see, I'm from Espoo for the municipal council elections, and from Länsi Uusimaa for the welfare area elections.
My name is Daniel Mao. I'm representing Espoo. So my city is striving to do better, and I believe in this coming election, getting the right people there, we can break those barriers and take out those bureaucracies and get back to work and take our city to where we want the city to be. Finally, on a cultural aspect of it, diversity is the strength of our city. Espoo is one of the most diverse city in Finland. Our city is doing great, but we can improve. We can be better. Thank you.
The wrong policies of the current government. They made the wrong policies about they made houses but houses are before they are also giving the chance, for example, the small companies who are building homes and giving more homes and equally. But now they make very expensive houses in Helsinki. The Helsinki area is, of course, we can't get more land here. This Espoo Vantaa is a bigger. They have more land, but here we don't less land and very expensive houses they made it, and after that this started problems. And also they did not give more money to those companies, those who are also building just house. That is also big problems. And the second one, you are about unemployment. Here's what is going on. And because of that, I saw, because I am a business doing, I have my own restaurant and many people come to us to working. And that is also because in the Helsinki, this municipality and also the metropolitan area, government must have to young people more jobs, but they are not giving to them in that way. Got the before they saying because they are giving this is settlely things for the young, the students. They're very easy to get the jobs. And so also the language barriers, I think now is the immigrants here all the times, they are growing, but then language barriers is a very difficult to them. And we want to have English also to them when they apply the job. And second one, third one, you have, for example, immigrants about this, you can say cultural things. And of course, in this city, we have a lot of immigrants living in this city. And here, everybody who's come from abroad, they must have right and they must have that place. They can make their own events.
My name is Dave Wana, representing the Social Democratic Party. So I think one of the biggest challenges now that people with low salaries are facing problems to pay their rent. I think Helsinki should focus on building affordable houses for people with low income. Because we talk about land, it is important to save the nature. I think, for example, when you come to east side of Helsinki, you have, for example, Mellumaki, Titakeskus, Kontula, that Helsinki should focus on building like the metro area. Hence, there are buildings there, but they're old. They can like demolish them and build them or renovate them in a sense that it doesn't cost the city so much money. That it will be less money to renovate those houses than build expensive houses whereby it will cost more. So when it comes to work and employment, youth unemployment is one of the biggest. I was saying I think Helsinki is having from in between 8 and 9% unemployment at the moment. Helsinki should have those kind of programs like whereby people can mingle together, get to know each other. Then we have this segregation of kind of like rule between different kind of societies to avoid those kind of things.
Thank you very much.
My name is Ruth, and I came in Finland back 2014. I'm a nurse by profession, and talking about housing in Vantaa, I think it's very clear that Vantaa is very growing at a very high rate. We are having a shortage of affordable houses. It's a big problem for big families, like what my colleague said. We need the municipal to build more houses and affordable houses. We have a lot of private sector building, but they are not affordable for us. We cannot afford it. Work and unemployment. We have a big problem, and I think this is where my heart is, because the biggest percentage of unemployment is among foreigners or immigrants in Vantaa. So in my opinion, I want that we have a plan, a better plan for integration. Every time that a person comes here in Finland, we have a plan that is planned for everybody in one pot, that you have to go through the same. We are different, we learn differently. We need plans for individual plans. And then cultural diversity and activities. I think we are very multicultural in Vantaa. We have multicultural activities, and we can do better. We can increase hobbies. We can increase activities for the youths to avoid the youth's mental health and all that. Yeah.
When is the voting, and how can people go and vote?
Well, actually, the early voting is at the moment. You can also, or until next Tuesday, which is the 8th of April. And in the early voting, you can be wherever you are in Finland and go maybe to the nearest library and just have your passport or driver's license, or even at a Prisma, you might see a place where you can go and vote until next Tuesday.
The actual final date for the election is the 13th of April, and there to vote there you have to go to the place that is assigned in the voting card. So that would normally be the nearest school to you. So keep an eye out for that. You can't just go to any place on the 13th of April to vote. So it's only your assigned place that you can go to.
And do they have to enter a number? You get a candidate number. Is that something like that?
Yeah. So hopefully, if you've been following our campaigns, you remember the numbers by heart. If you don't remember the numbers by heart, there will be a list of all the candidates with their numbers. There will not be pictures, but the names and the numbers will be there, so you can look them up. So, two different elections taking place at the same time. You'll be given two sets of papers, two sets of numbers. You can vote for the same candidate in both if you want to, or for different ones.
Yeah, one important thing about the numbers, and once you go there, you can check the number on the list, but please only write the number, no name of the candidates, no nothing like good SDP or anything, just the number, because otherwise they will disqualify it. Yeah.
Great. So now you know how to vote. If you are eligible, then please come out and exercise your right to vote.
Yes.
Definitely.